Welcome back to the couch. I'm your host, your co-host, Iferg, in this very, very educational journey.
I'm your other co-host, Han. Can't promise that I'm very knowledgeable in this educational journey.
The point of this show. This point of the show, to learn something new.
Week 7.
7.
My lucky number.
It's been 7 weeks, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Felt like 3.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It felt like 3 and it also felt like 9 at the same time.
Yeah. But it's exciting.
I don't remember recording our first episode already.
I don't either. I can't even remember what we talked about in that one.
All I remember is your intro.
My intro was fantastic.
Probably better than this one.
No, I like this one.
Welcome back to the couch.
Welcome back to the couch.
Welcome to the pod.
Yeah, oh, that one was funny that time. Welcome to the pod.
You have some news for us?
I got a new job.
Tell us about your old job, and then tell us about your new job.
So, my old job, which I'm finishing up right now, I just have 8 more days of work in there. 8 more work days of work in there. It's spread over like 2 weeks, but
Is that how work days work?
Yeah. I currently work at a flower shop. I do floral design and like customer service in the shop. And it's been good, but it's also been really hard. Really long hours and kind of crazy schedules. So I wanted to prioritize having more of a work-life balance and prioritize, having respect for myself in, like, making time outside of work for the things that are important to me. And so I have found a new job as a receptionist in an eye care office. And I'm really excited to start there and to have more of a regular 9 to 5 schedule so that we can do stuff outside of work, because I was working like 50-hour weeks and
that's
crazy weeks, and we just got married and I want to be home with my husband
constantly.
Yeah, I was staying until like 2 a.m. all the time, so
mistreated,
and doing that while not really being appreciated for doing that. It felt like
it's different if you're like,
it was the expectation and I should just be willing and happy to do it. So
different if you're appreciated, different if you're
paid for it,
and it's not, they don't feel entitled to it.
Entitled to your time outside of regular business hours. And they don't like guilt you into it in a way. So there's a lot that we could go into about it, but the short story is I don't like my job, so I got a new job, and I'm really excited.
Gonna be wearing scrubbies.
He is very excited about that.
I think they look very professional.
In the past, you told me that you think they look attractive.
Yeah, and that too.
Oh, he's got a smirk on his face now.
So you're blushing.
Well, that's because you're making me... you're making me blush.
You can't even form a sentence. You're blushing.
The point is, you're really gonna like when I wear scrubs.
We'll see. I don't even know if you pull them off yet.
Rude. I pull off everything.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Mine.
Yeah, that's true. Can't keep my hands off you.
Oh, jeez. Okay. PG, Hannah. My joke was just inferred.
Well, I like to be explicit.
You are the one that swears more in our relationship.
And I barely do it. I only do it in the moments of comedy. It's like once a month.
It's once a month more than I do it.
Whatever. Alright, well, it's your week. So
yes, indeed.
Let's get going. Let's get into it. Wait, what did he say?
Nice. Do you have any more, do you have like a We usually do a song recommendation.
Oh.
I don't want to forget that at the end.
I'll be perfectly honest. I haven't really listened to music at all this week. So.
I have a podcast recommendation.
Really?
It's called Couch Time.
Well, obviously. Looking back at my Spotify.
You don't have to find something if nothing
True.
comes to mind.
A song that I did hear recently that I enjoyed was the Dancing Through Life from Wicked.
Another Wicked song.
I love Wicked. It's always
We've done
one of my
3 weeks in a row, I
favorites.
feel like.
So,
Probably
well,
one.
it's just because I've been in a musical phase where if I have listened to music, it's been from musicals. So,
I think my music
really
cycle
enjoy
goes
that.
through weekly cycle. It's a weekly cycle.
Mine goes through
You have a monthly cycle.
every
I have
2
a weekly
months.
cycle. Yeah, yours is slow.
You listen to a lot more music than I do. I typically don't listen to music unless you turn it on. So, or I'm cleaning.
My song recommendation.
I do have a book recommendation though, instead of a song.
Maybe you could do book and I could do song.
That's a good idea. That fits us better. Okay.
And you could do whatever book you're thinking of.
I like that.
I just like the song because the audience could just turn it on, listen to it,
Yeah.
and then come back.
I like that though. Let's start that.
Yeah, recommend a book.
Go
fast, hurry, quick.
Okay. I don't like when he does that. The book I want to recommend is called Rebecca. I'm not going to try and pronounce the author's name because it's French and I will butcher it. But it's Daphne something. I can say her first name.
What's her last name?
Something.
It's a weird French name.
But it's called Rebecca. I'll be honest, haven't actually finished it. I'm on chapter 9.
9 hours left in the audiobook.
Yes, I'm listening to it because I was supposed to have read it this last month for my book club this week, and I started it today, and book club is in 2 days.
Professional
so
crammer.
I really gotta speed read, which means speed listen. But I'm enjoying it. I am a little confused, and it does start kind of slow. So I would recommend listening to it instead of reading it if you struggle with that. But it's a mystery, and right now I'm hooked. I find it really interesting.
Huh?
So there's my recommendation. I'll let you know when I finish it, if it's any good.
Next week.
Yeah.
We gotta follow up.
Stay tuned.
Tune in again.
Yeah. What's
Right.
your song recommendation?
Back 40 Back by Luke Combs.
Never heard of it. Is it a new release?
No.
Oh.
It's on his album called Getting Old.
I probably have heard it then, and I just don't realize.
It sounds like this.
Oh yeah, I've heard it. I know this song well.
It's so good.
I don't really recognize songs with their names. I have to listen to them.
I understand that.
But it is a good one.
I am like that when it's I'm acquainted with the music, but not friends with the music.
I like that.
But if I'm good friends with the music, then I know the song.
That's
I'm a first name basis kind of relationship.
I'm on a first name basis relationship with a lot of songs from the Harry Potter movies.
That laugh just sounded like the one filter on social media that's like, Mom! I just did that for on accident.
I kind of...
I'm in the bed!
saying what I said about the Harry Potter songs, I was kind of expecting you to laugh and put your head down, and it's exactly what you did, and it was kind of cute.
Oh, jeez. Alright. I'm so predictable, apparently.
But only to me, because
This day in history!
Only to me, because I'm your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
October 28th, the day of this podcast release.
Mm-hmm.
Quick
Yeah.
pop quiz. Which state is St. Louis in?
Missouri.
You right?
Oh my gosh. I'm so smart. What about St. Louis?
And that's it.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. St. Louis Gateway Arch is completed on this day.
Wow.
In 65.
Well, that's a landmark.
Yes. It's kind of iconic. It's what the city's known for. Like,
yeah. I've never even been there, and I know that
pictures?
it's what the city is known
Ooh.
for.
I don't know anything about it, but
All I know about it is that it was referenced in Percy Jackson, and I remember, like, the scene from the book where they describe going there. That's it.
Yeah. Super famous, very iconic. Every building, I have a similar rabbit hole on my list of rabbit holes that I could do in the future. Every building completed before year like 2000, I'm just flabbergasted how it was built and the logistics before computers and before calculators.
I hadn't thought about that.
Like, everything was written out.
Yeah.
On paper. One of my rabbit hole ideas is the Golden Gate Bridge, how that was built.
Oh, that'd be so interesting.
Just absolutely floored.
I've seen, like, a little clip from a documentary about that where it's, like, how they drilled down into the earth, like, under the ocean. And, yeah, I would find that really interesting because I really love architecture.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that.
But
feats of humanity. Like, absolutely.
I often feel that way when I think about how they built the buildings that are still here, like the pyramids and...
I knew you were going to say that.
Why? Because I'm so predictable.
Because I'm your husband. And you're still predictable.
Whatever. But buildings like the pyramids...
You say whatever when you know I'm right.
We don't need to talk about it, okay?
I almost heard you say whatever.
Yeah, because I almost did.
You almost did. Because you know I'm right.
Anyway. I'm trying to think of more buildings other than the pyramids, but you get the point.
I thought you were going to say, like, cathedrals in Europe.
Oh, yeah. Duh. Westminster Abbey and St. Paul's Cathedral. And our temples.
Which is the one that burned down?
Notre Dame?
Yeah.
That one, too. But... Or, like, the Arc de Triomphe and all the different...
You speak French?
Just a little bit. But I always feel that way about those kinds of buildings where it's like, they built these with a chisel and a hammer, and it's still here. Like, what the heck? But I had never really considered, like, the modern day ones where we still didn't have computers, though. That's really interesting. I'd find a rabbit hole on that interesting, so maybe you could, like, research that and tell me all about it.
Why don't you do it for one of yours?
I could do it for one of mine, but I always really enjoy... I mean, I do enjoy the weeks when it's, like, my week on the pod, and I do the research, but it's really fun when you do it, because then I just get to sit here and learn and be surprised by everything.
Enjoy your laziness, is that what you're saying?
You know me. You know how much I like to just laze about.
Late chilling like it?
Chilling like a villain. It's one of my classic phrases.
Catchphrases.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to go on your headstone.
Oh, it better not. You better put something nice like, beloved wife and mother.
Parentheses, villain. Self-described villain.
That'd be so bad.
The warden is laid.
If you're going to put anything funny, you got to put, like, mega Harry Potter nerd.
I thought you were going to stop before the word Potter.
Rude. And you know that's not even true. I'm barely Harry.
Barely Harry. That's what I'll put. That's what I'll put on your headstone.
No.
Barely Harry.
No, you gotta put, like, something meaningful and nice, but also, like, one of my funny nicknames.
Light bulb.
What's that smile?
British babe. 1, 2, 3.
You can't say that on here. That means something.
I left out an important bit.
Yeah, you
and
did.
There's no way.
That's Isaac's newest nickname for me.
His old passwords.
Yeah.
She kept him in a note, Apple Notes, like a buffoon.
I was like 14, okay?
So you were a buffoon at 14.
Yeah. I'll admit
I showed
that.
her Apple Podcast Manager.
Password manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got what you meant.
Podcast Manager. Apple, I think they do have a Podcast Manager. But anyway, showed her the password manager. For having a podcast, I really can't talk. Yeah, we host a podcast. Anyway, show her the native password manager. He's great.
Yeah. Basically, Isaac has a lot of funny nicknames for me that would be funny on a headstone. I don't really have any for him.
The British Babe was one of your passwords, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, but you've now
I didn't
decided
finish the
it's one of
story.
my nicknames.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
There's another nickname
Because
that...
you were super embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
That's why.
There's another nickname that we won't say on the pod. That's one of your, like, original nicknames for me, which...
Big Booty Mama.
Isaac! I didn't expect you to say it.
You can't just bait people and say something like that and then not reveal it.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking of saying it to you. Like, oh yeah, this one would be funny too.
If I was an audience member, I'd stop listening. I can't just be baited like that.
Fine. Well, yeah.
I'd be like, huh?
He
What did you just
sometimes...
do? You're not going to tell me what it is?
Okay, well, yeah. He sometimes calls me Big Booty Mama, which
That's
I
right.
don't know why, because I'm not a
Or
mama and I don't
B-flat
have a
minor.
big butt. Yeah, B flat minor as an abbreviation.
Yeah.
But
It's code word.
it is code
One time
word.
we were playing those TV games at a friend's house, and I
Mm.
abbreviated Big Booty Mama, capital B, lowercase b, M, and it in music that's B flat minor, and so now it's turned into B flat minor.
Yeah, they all wanted to know what it meant, and we didn't tell them. And
Big B flat minor. Yeah, I came up with that on the spot. I remember
You
you
did.
unlocked a memory for me.
I'm so glad, because I remembered that.
Yeah, you have a much more keen memory than me,
I do remember a lot.
especially about me.
Yeah. It's because you're important to me.
Anyways, October
Yeah.
28th.
Sorry about the chattiness there.
Another architectural anniversary of the United States.
Let's hear it.
Statue of Liberty was dedicated
Oh,
in 1886. I should have had you guess the year.
that's
you
very
would've-
cool.
I would have never guessed that.
I would not either. That's
It
very
was-
cool. I remember going to the Statue of Liberty.
Me too. I've been there as well.
Yeah. We should
That'd
go
be another
together.
rabbit hole that we could do. Statue of Liberty. I'm typing it in right now.
That'd be really interesting. Because I know like a few bits and pieces about the history of it, but barely anything.
I wish I just knew stuff. And I could just tell you about it because I just know it. But that's why we do the podcast. 'Cause
Yeah,
I just don't
that's the
know
whole
stuff.
point of this.
Yeah. Just to learn stuff.
Yeah.
I'm having respiratory issues.
I'll give you CPR, but that's not what we need. I'll give you mouth to mouth.
Kiss it better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. This is apparently a monumental day in the interstate highway system.
Mm.
October 28th marked the completion of the Leif Erikson Tunnel.
Should I know who that is?
No,
Cool.
that's the point of this segment. On Interstate 35. And with the opening of the tunnel, the highway, Interstate 35, was at last finished. Again, I wish I knew like what it was and stuff. And I should have done more research.
That's okay.
I just searched it up and it's a bunch of crashes. It connects the bottom of Texas. It goes through San Antonio, up through Dallas, up through Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri,
Wow.
all the way up
Spans
to the top
far distance.
to Canada,
Oh, dang.
through Minnesota, through Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then to Canada.
I don't think I've ever been to any of those places, so I probably haven't driven on it. But when
Yeah,
we
probably not.
visit Texas, we probably will.
Yeah, except we'll be in Austin, not Houston. Or Dallas, is what I said.
I have family in Dallas, though, we could go visit.
That's true. That's true.
I have family who live in Dallas, and his name is Dallas.
Like Logan and Logan. That's always weird for me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, 35. Does it? Oh, it goes through Austin. Of course it does.
Sweet.
San Antonio, Austin, and then Dallas. Yeah, we'd take the group in Round Rock, take the I-35 to downtown Austin, or up to Waco, and then eventually to Dallas.
We should go to Texas. I'd like to.
If only my dad was here, he'd hear that I-35 was completed on this day, and he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I know that road."
I'll text him.
Maybe we should call him.
Be like, "Hey Ferg, guess what? I have a fun fact for you."
He
Okay.
probably wouldn't like you saying his name on the podcast.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry.
That's okay. We only have one listener.
Yeah.
We have one consistent listener. So whoever you are, we're trying to figure it out.
I
But
think
thanks so
I
much.
know.
Who do you think it is?
Your mom.
I asked her, and it's not her. She didn't even know that we posted more than one episode.
It's not her?
No, I even asked her.
Maybe it's one of my sisters.
Maybe, I don't know. I think it's a man, actually, because my self-identify, whatever this,
Right.
I have demographic data. At first, it was like 75% women would listen, because we had got like 13 listens on the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, all your sisters listened.
Right.
And me and my dad listened, so that makes sense. And that was 75% women. It's since evened out to 50-50. We've released 5 episodes since then.
Maybe
So,
it's my dad.
your dad listens on YouTube.
True.
YouTube
It wouldn't
stats
be
don't
on the
count.
Spotify stats. Oh my gosh, who could it be?
It's a mystery, man.
Well, we appreciate you, listener.
Maybe it's me,
I did consider
because I do
that.
test all of our episodes.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm the mystery
Maybe.
listener.
Maybe one week you don't test them and I test them, and then we see if that changes it.
Whoever you are, leave a comment so we know.
Yes, please.
Or just text us, because you probably know us.
Yeah, that's true.
We're trying to figure you out.
Oh my gosh, it could be your coworker.
Oh, yeah. He also listens on YouTube.
Oh, never mind then.
But neither your dad or my coworker have listened, because all of my other episodes have 0 views.
Mm.
It's okay. We just enjoy doing it, so that's why we do it. Not
Yeah.
for views. It's just fun to watch.
It is fun.
The statistics. All right. I think that's enough history for today.
Okay. What's next?
Okay. This is a fun word. I feel like it's very British.
Ooh, I'm gonna like it then.
Just because I said I feel like it doesn't mean it's actually British.
Still.
Let me look at the etymology to see if it's actually British.
Okay. I'm excited now.
I'll give you some fun facts about this word first, before I tell it to you. Nathan Hawthorne, do you know who that is?
Yes. He wrote The Crucible. I read it in high school.
And the Scarlet Letter.
I've read that too. Actually, he might not have written The Crucible. I think he did, but maybe I'm mixing up. But I did read The Scarlet Letter when I was in 11th grade.
He employed this word 13 times in his work, The Scarlet Letter.
Okay.
That's a fun fact. It's an uncommon word.
Okay.
Its more common counterpart is the word between. Do you have any guesses? I'm going to make you guess. I just decided I'm going to make you guess.
No, I want to hear it.
I'll just make you guess for a minute.
Also, I want to make a correction. The Crucible was not written by him. It was written by Arthur Miller.
Fact check
My
yourself.
apologies.
Man, look at you. Oh, we forgot to do our podcast segment jingle switch
Oh,
noise.
yeah. We'll do it next week.
No, you should do it right now.
I don't know what the noise is.
Just do it. Just do something.
Do-do-do-do-do. Did you enjoy that?
That was great. I expect you to do that every time.
Okay, I'll try and remember.
Okay, the word is betwixt.
Mmm. Does it usually go like betwixt and between?
Betwixt. Betwixt.
I have heard the word before.
Betwixt.
Don't really remember
If
what it
you
means.
want to sound so like
British.
British and like
Proper.
I'm better than you, use this word.
Okay. Can I have it in a sentence, please?
It's basically just means between.
Oh.
In the middle. Neither one thing nor the other.
Okay.
Charlie took a seat betwixt two other passengers.
Yeah, that pretty much says
They
it.
sat on a long bench, a pile of books betwixt them.
Okay, so it's basically just a fancy way of saying between.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said the first time.
That kind of makes me want to read Scarlet Letter again, but I also don't, because I remember not really enjoying that book, but finding a lot of the symbolism in it interesting, but...
I just discovered that Merriam-Webster has a podcast. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
I'll have to listen.
Well, that was a good word of the day. I appreciate that you had a fun fact about it, which I knew. Like, I knew who he was. So, that was cool.
That was just in the, fun fact section. I just read it.
Well, I like it. I didn't know that section was available, so I'm going to look at that.
It's called Did You Know? Question mark.
I'm going to look at that
Oh my
from now
gosh.
on.
A while ago, you were like, you said question mark on a voice note to me.
I know.
Because you thought it was dictation.
I know.
I texted someone at work today because I was like, hey, I'm on my way to your house. And they said, thank you, period. And they spelled it out. P-E-R-I-O-D.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they sent back to me. Thank you, period. P-E-R-I-O-D.
Sometimes that does happen when I do voice to text.
Yeah.
So that could have happened. They could have meant to
That's
just
what I
put
thought,
period.
but I just thought it was funny. Because it's never happened to me before.
That is really funny. It happens a lot when my dad texts me and he does voice to text. For some reason it spells it out. But
Google Keyboard is really accurate with that. So I don't know what's going on
That's
with Apple
weird.
or whatever.
But yeah, backstory for our one listener.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. I usually, when I'm texting Isaac and I'm in the car driving, I'll do voice to text. But recently we've started sending each other voice messages.
Just small recordings of each
Yeah.
other.
Like a minute long or something. And so for a while there, we were doing both, just flipping back and forth throughout the day, depending on if I was driving or if I wasn't. And so I thought that it was voice to text, and instead it was a voice memo. So he heard me say whatever plus question mark.
Question mark?
And then I realized that I did it.
Instantly.
And it was just
I didn't
really
mean
funny.
to say. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
This is a recording.
It was really entertaining, I'm
It's
sure.
really funny.
But
Yes, that was funny. Speaking of dictation, do you prefer dictation or voice notes?
it really just depends, because today I had something to tell you and I couldn't do dictation. For some reason it just wasn't working with my AirPod or something. But I also didn't want to type it all out because what I had to say was kind of long. So a voice memo worked. And if I'm in the car, either one works. But if I were in public, I'd just type it out. If I'm around family members. So it just depends on the situation. I don't know. And if what I have to say is really long or really short.
Yeah. It's kind of nice to get the inflection and the tone of voice and stuff in the message as well. So
Yeah, I do like that.
I feel like we can say more stuff per stuff.
Yeah, although the issue with that is that I then say too much and then you forget. While listening to my voice memo, you're like, oh, I can't remember what you said at the beginning. I need to listen
worth
again.
of stuff.
They are never 3 minutes long. It's 1.5, maybe
Individually, they're never 3 minutes long. But then you send 3 of them in a row.
2. That's why you listen to one, respond. Listen to another, respond.
I did that. I started doing that eventually. And then you respond to the one that I responded to, and I still have previous message to finish.
I'm just really speedy, okay? I talk fast.
Because I only listened to half of one. It's a 10-second response.
Sorry. I did try today to send a 20-second one and a 30-second one, so they were shorter, broken up.
Still 3 minutes in total.
No, I don't. I don't believe that.
I think it depends on the conversation, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I still like to hear your voice on texting, so
Well,
it's gonna.
thanks. Also, guys, Isaac was really, really nice to me earlier. He's always really nice to me. That made it sound
Where's
like
this
you
going?
weren't.
What?
I just wanted to point out that
There's an exceptional day.
no,
It's really nice to me, not usually.
no, he is nice to me every day, and he is like so nice to me always. But today, he was giving me some really nice compliments about my hair, which
It's so big.
he gives me
It's so big?
compliments a lot of the time, but it's usually not about my hair. Probably because everyone else gives me compliments about my hair, so he tries not to. Well, maybe not tries not to, but he tries to give me compliments on other things. So he just told me that my hair looks really pretty and really big, and it was very nice. So thanks. Just wanted to tell you that. I appreciated it.
My cholesterol just doubled from that cheesiness.
Oh my gosh, why do you always take it as cheesy when I'm just like, oh yeah, that was nice of you, or oh yeah,
I'll tell you why.
Hmm.
XY. That's why. Because I'm a man.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I like you, and I like
hope
your
so.
compliments.
I hope so.
They were nice.
You're
to
married
hear.
to me.
And
This week
boy, do I love it.
on the podcast, I
Yes.
was about to start into a summary or something, but we both listened to a podcast called Shagged, Married, Annoyed, Chris and Rosie Ramsey. On their podcast, they do a segment called The Lucrative Sponsor. And basically, one or both or one of them, I don't know if they do it every week. Do they do it every week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One or both of them have a pet peeve, essentially, that they've noticed that they have that week.
Yeah. And it's sometimes a pet peeve that's like just with the world in general,
Yeah.
or it's with like
Something that's bothering them
Yeah.
recently.
but it
I have a lucrative
You
sponsor today. Things that are... Not a lot of things bother me, to be honest.
It's true. You're very chill.
Very... But this is getting on my nerves.
Oh, I'm nervous, but also eager to hear.
For our podcast listener context, they probably already know, whoever you are. I'm
I
a
know.
pest control technician by trade. We have several varieties of flying pests in Utah, northern Utah, where we live. 3 of which are yellow. Why does every single customer call them bees? Why? They're not bees. None of them are bees. They are never bees. And I can't spray bees. So even if they were bees, I can't treat them because they're bees. They're wasps or yellow jackets or hornets. Literally anything else other than bees. And they're so different than bees. Bees are calm and nice. Bees would be the kind of insect to pay you a compliment as you walk by. Wasps and yellow jackets, not so much. Wasps are the ones that dangle and are kind of dumb and slow. If they sting you, it'll hurt. But they're kind of dumb. If you kill one of them, they won't come after you. Yellow jackets are the ones that look kind of like bees, but they're much more aggressive. And they fly around in Z patterns all over the place, and they're super quick and agile. And they just go, and there's usually a ton of them. If you see one of them, there's probably a colony nearby, and they're usually swarming wherever their colony is. This could be a rabbit hole, but this is a different segment. I had 3 customers say they have bee problems. And I was like, okay. I've just learned to say, okay, show me it, instead of, well, if they're actually bees, then I can't treat them.
Right.
Because they're always wrong. It's never bees. Only once have I ever had a customer say that they're bees, and they actually were bees. And then he actually knew they were bees and told me not to treat them. Anyway, hornets are actually not yellow. The type of hornets we get here in Utah are called bald-faced hornets, and they are black. And they build basketball-shaped paper mache nests up in trees. Usually see them like on tree branches and stuff. In fact, that's the only place I've seen them, is on tree branches. And one time on the side of someone's house, but that's because he was an old man and never went outside. I knocked on his door and I was like, hey, anything I should keep my eye out for? Oh yeah, no, we're fine. Walk around there's this huge bald-faced hornet's nest on the side, which have the most painful sting of all the flying pests in Utah. Probably all pests in Utah, to be honest. So there's three predominant stinging pests in Utah. Those are the three: yellow jackets, hornets, and wasps. Wasps are by far the most common. Yellow jackets are semi-common this year for some reason. They will pheromone tag you. So if you have one, you should probably get it taken care of.
What does that mean?
If one of them thinks you're a threat and goes to sting you, they'll tag you with their pheromones so the other ones know to go sting you too.
Oh, gosh.
They'll track you down if you run away.
That's terrifying.
I've had customers be like, yeah, they stung me 22 times.
Ugh.
Yeah, crazy. They're pretty scary. Don't want to get one of those because they usually nest underground or in the siding of your house at your home or something. So don't want to get one of those. And then bald-faced hornets are very uncommon because they usually nest in very undisturbed areas, like in a forest or at a park, or it's in your backyard. You're probably not going to get a bald-faced hornet's nest because generally the people have dogs and people running around in backyards and stuff, but they're not bees. None of them are bees. And they actually eat bees. Wasps do. So they'll hunt bees down and eat them.
I'm sorry that everyone thinks they're bees.
You don't have to be sorry. Just know your flying pests that you have.
The difference is, if you have an issue, you do research about it.
So you can get the most effective treatment.
Right, but not everyone is like that. A lot of people are lazy and they just want to say, I have this, take care of it.
Or it'd be fine if the customer said, we have things that look like bees, but I'm not sure if they are.
It's just their
Can you tell me what they are?
overconfidence in...
Every single time. They're so confident that they're right.
Yeah,
they're
that's
bees.
annoying.
Did you take care of the bees? No, because you don't have a bee problem. You have a yellow jacket problem. Those are not bees. Those are not your friend. They will take your child away and fly away with him. Into Neverland.
Yeah, that would get annoying.
So annoying. Ugh. I understand. You pay someone to come out, fix your problem. But just be curious. That's fine. Ask questions. Just don't pretend like you know. That's why you're paying someone else to do it. Is because you don't know.
Yeah.
Just don't pretend like you know. I wish there was like a word that described yellow flying pests. Because we have spiders that describe all spiders. Doesn't matter what kind of spider. It even includes daddy longlegs, which technically aren't even spiders. But people will still call them spiders because they look like spiders. But for some reason, we don't have a word to describe yellow flying pests.
Maybe let's just call them that.
YFP. Yuff. Got any yuffs? Anyway. Know your pest.
Okay.
Before you be so confident about it.
For you
Gosh.
to be so confident about
No!
it. That was cheesy. I'll admit that.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was corny.
Alright, should we get to the rabbit hole?
Let's do it.
So, this week I figured I could tell a little bit of a story. Usually it's like a topic that we learn a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a couple weeks ago we did weird and wacky sports.
Yeah, that one was funny.
But this week there's a specific story in history. I've considered doing it on the this day in history and just doing like a dedicated segment to this one, but it doesn't line up on a Monday, so
Oh, that's okay.
I was just gonna do it today. So on November 14th, so it's coming up. The Apollo 11 mission. Well, that's not that was the one before this. Apollo 11 mission was the one that went to the moon.
Right.
Apollo 12 was scheduled to launch. So a little bit of backstory on this mission. There was a guy named Al Bean, who was the astronaut on this mission. One of them. I'm not sure. I think there was another, but I don't know his name. And the ECOM, the commander, the kind of the head of communication, Conrad. His name is Charles Conrad. And then Dick Gordon was another influential person in this situation. So these three guys are kind of in charge of this whole mission.
Mm-hmm.
So ECOM is a really important position because they are kind of in charge of communication between the spaceship and the space station. And when I was doing my research, one of the guys that they had interviewed for whatever video I was watching about it said that what makes a good ECOM is a natural curiosity to learn everything they can, even if it doesn't apply to their position.
Mm.
And that was something that Charles Conrad did really well, was just learning about everything about anything he could. A year before this mission, he was studying the patterns in severe weather,
Mm-hmm.
which they weren't, of course they don't plan to launch a rocket in severe weather, but he was just curious, in natural curiosity about things that don't necessarily apply to his position, but he was just wanting to learn a lot. That'll come in later in this story. Anyway, so they plan to launch this on November 14th. And of course, every rocket launch is super anticipated. It's lots at stake, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And it was NASA at the time, so it's taxpayer dollars.
Mm-hmm. And then the astronauts' lives.
And the astronauts' live, yeah, on the spaceship, of course. I want to make a correction. Neither of those three men were on the spaceship. Oh wait, maybe they were.
Al Bean.
I actually don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Al Bean, Conrad, and Dick Gordon. I'm not sure exactly where their position was. All I know is that Pete Conrad was ECOM, so he must have been on the ground. I'm not sure where the other two were. They're just influential to the story. Go on YouTube and watch it. So the important part of the story, the rocket launches, and all communication is lost. All of the error messages are coming up. All of the electrical systems are failing. They can't control the spaceship. Same thing in the spaceship cockpit. I think that's what it's called. Can't control anything. All controls are lost. Luckily, they had come prepared for the situation because they had an emergency power backup. So it's not power is gonna be cut and they're gonna explode or anything. So they're on emergency power, which would only last a couple of hours, which in rocket ship time isn't very long.
Right.
Considering the whole mission sometimes lasts for weeks. All electricity is out. All controls are out in the spaceship. Of course, the whole space station is freaking out, looking to ECOM, kind of the head people of the situation, wondering what to do because no one can do anything without communication, without the electricity of the spaceship. Nobody has seen this situation before. One of the interviews, again on the YouTube video, it was like main bus A is out, main bus B is out. He was like going through AC bus overload and number 1, number 2, number 3. All of the error messages are coming up. All the lights are flashing. Never had seen this in the simulation. Never. No one was prepared for
That'd
this.
Be so like chaotic and full of panic.
So chaotic. I can't even imagine how heart-wrenching, dropping, like anxiety-ridden this moment would have been. Just absolute peak stress in this moment.
What happened? The suspense.
We even tried to record this earlier, and I had to stop because it wasn't really working. But I think I'm explaining it better now.
Yeah.
So Ecom, because of his curiosity, a year prior, was familiar with this error pattern. And everyone was looking to Ecom for him to say, abort the mission, eject the cockpit, leave the rockets to explode, save the people. We can rebuild everything. But he said, everyone was expecting over the radios or their headsets to say, abort the mission or whatever the command would be. But he said, flight. This is what he said. Try SCE to aux. And there's a couple of people that have to relay the message to the spaceship. And in the YouTube video, there's like a 17-year-old YouTube video that kind of is only like 5 minutes long that it kind of explains this. But there's audio of them. They're like, what? What did you say? SCE to aux. Tell flight else SCE to aux. SC to auxiliary. And so they're like, SCE to aux. I don't know what this means. Just relaying the information. And the message gets back. He doesn't know where aux is, so he's like, it's over his shoulder. And he's like, relays the message back. And the astronaut eventually gets SCE, which stands for Signal Conditioning Equipment, to the auxiliary position over his shoulder. And everything is restored.
Oh my gosh.
All the power gets back online, just like nothing happened.
I was so worried that you were going to be like, yeah, and the rocket exploded and they died.
No, it's actually an inspirational story.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so
just because he was
SCE to aux.
curious.
Yeah, SCE to aux has now become kind of a catchphrase in the kind of the space travel.
Man, he would have gone down as like, all hail this. When he retired, it was probably like oh my gosh, we're losing like the best ecom we've ever had.
Yeah, okay, so it looks like Al Bean was the astronaut. I'm not sure on the details, but
That's crazy.
And that was the second manned landing mission to the moon. So that was moon landing number 2 was this flight. And there's lots of YouTube videos.
Wow.
NASA's YouTube channel has a few videos. The one that I'm referring to, I might link it in the description. It's a unnamed 1,000 subscriber channel. That's like, yeah, I'll just link it in the description if you want to watch it. I'm going to send it to my dad too because I think he'll find this interesting.
I'm sure he would. I mean, it's really cool, and the suspense was building, and I'm glad it had a happy ending, because...
Yeah, crazy story.
I was imagining the worst.
Yeah, you probably were.
But I'm glad. That's really cool.
I thought it was a cool story.
That is
just
cool.
because, like, oftentimes in my work, I'm like, I don't want to learn everything I can or anything more than necessary. I think partly because I don't really care about my work or my company or the people I work for or with.
Yeah.
I've been putting off learning how to do roach jobs for months just because I don't want to be assigned roach jobs and assigned the extra responsibility. And right now I have an excuse. I don't know how to do it, so don't assign them to me.
Right.
But
once you learn, then...
I think finding a position and a job, like, if you're the kind of person to love working on a spaceship or on a rocket ship launch team, you're the kind of person you're in a position where you can, like, learn everything you can about it because you love it.
Right.
So that's part of it. That's what or the reason I love the story is just because, like, oh, there's hope. I can find a job that I like one day.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's really
I just thought that was
interesting.
a cool story. Just someone that has a good memory, probably better memory than me, most likely. And I got a very great memory.
It's also cool because I feel like I hear about the Apollo 11 mission all the time, but I never hear about that one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to hear about that instead.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. That's a cool story. Obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't have said it. But
I like it.
SE dogs. It's kind of. I think there's a museum somewhere that has like an exhibit about it, and they sell merchandise with that on it.
We should go there. I really enjoy museums. Not so much art museums. Like, I still enjoy them, but I don't connect with it as much as I do history museums.
Yeah.
So.
This is history.
It is. So I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But any last words for our one listener?
Please
Or
keep
anything
listening.
else that you want to talk about?
Huh. I don't know. What's been on your mind recently?
Excitement for a new job. And I really feel like I want to be more intentional with my time. Like, I feel like, which part of that comes from currently at the job that I'm finishing up right now, I don't start work until 9:30, so I leave at like 9 every day. But I wake up at like 7:30ish every day, so that's like an hour and a half where it doesn't take me that long to get ready and eat breakfast. I could be doing something worthwhile with my time, but instead I usually end up wasting it doing something stupid. And so in the moment, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fine. And then I look back and I'm like, I could have done this, I could have done this, I could have done this. So I want to be more intentional with my time. And I also want to, I think this is just on my mind because yesterday we ate a lot of sugar and kind of unhealthy. Like, we did eat kind of healthy and we ate kind of unhealthy, and normally we're pretty good with eating healthy, but I want to be more like intentional with meal planning and the food that we eat, and trying to be aware of that, because I mean, I still have a major sweet tooth and I want ice cream and I want treats and stuff, but I kind of miss cooking because I was excited about what I was making rather than like, oh, I need to eat. What do we have? I guess I can make this. So I just kind of want to get back to that. But
Sounds like with your new job schedule, you'll be able to get a better routine for that too.
yeah, I think so. Because I was, for a while there, even while having this job, I feel like I had a decent routine about cooking at least. And I was making like dinners frequently. But within the last week and a half or so, I think I've just felt so burnt out. And then I got sick. And then we had family in town and we were busy. And so I haven't had time to like plan out a meal, go to the store and shop, come home and cook, which is something that I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to have a schedule where hopefully that'll be more attainable, and I'm also excited to get on a schedule with my new job where I have to be there at 8 in the morning instead of 9:30. So I'll need to wake up earlier and I'll need to like plan for that and utilize my morning better, which I'll have more time in the evening for relaxing stuff, but I'm excited for it. So, what's been on your mind?
I like that.
Thanks.
Living with intentionality.
Yeah.
I learned that on my mission. It's like you can do so much in your day if you're just intentional about it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the easiest ways to be intentional about it is to plan it out. Plan about hour by hour. Factor in travel time. Think about all the details. You don't even have to think about all the details. You just take 5 minutes at the beginning of your day and just, if you know you're going to have a block of free time, schedule it out.
Yeah.
You know, you got to fill out your ballot. You know, you got to do, some homework. You know, you want to start learning Spanish or whatever. You want to practice the guitar. That would be on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Got 4 hours before, I got to be somewhere. Got a, activity tonight. Got 4 hours. Block it out.
Yeah.
Schedule it out hour by hour. Half an hour I'll do this. Half an hour I'll do that.
And it's
I'll take a break.
Yeah, it's not like you have to do like, oh, I need to do my chores and I need to run my errands, and it can be fun stuff like practicing the guitar or watching a TV show or reading a book.
And because TV show, you can look up how long that lasts.
Right, but I tend to not, rather than scheduling in my fun time or my relaxing time, I just end up doing it and then I get distracted and I do it for too long.
Yeah.
To where I look back and I'm like, well, why did I sit and watch a TV show when I've done that every day this week? I could have read a book, which is still fun. It's just something different. Or like, why didn't I go do some chores and some fun stuff? So I like that. I think I should work on scheduling it out. That's a good strategy.
I don't always schedule out like relaxing time because
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's very relaxing if it's like
Schedule.
you're checking the watch to see how much relaxing time you have left.
Yeah, I get that.
And so I don't always do that. If it kind of depends on how long I have. If I've got like probably 4 or more hours, I'll probably schedule it out.
Yeah.
Because I always forget to do stuff too. What was it I forgot to do because I was playing video games? Playing Minecraft too long, and I was like, oh, freak, I forgot to do that.
Was it today?
Last week sometime. I don't know. I forgot that I forgot. I forgot what I forgot.
Me too.
I always forget everything. Hopefully I'll get better. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
If you have anyone in the audience have any recommendations on how to improve your memory,
Let us know.
Let me
Leave
know.
a comment.
Comment. Or text me because you probably have my number. All right. That'll do it for this week.
We'll see you next week.
What's our outro music? Give us some outro music.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Peace. Bye.
Adios.